So hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and today I want to check out the 4 new augments that were introduced with the latest update and sort of showcase them a little bit so you can see whether they are something you might want to get yourself. So first up we have the 2 new Zaku augments, the first one of which is Vampiric Grasp. This restores 25 health whenever your stolen weapons deal damage to enemies that are either affected by the Gaze variant of Lost or by the Vast on Time. Now to be entirely honest here, I don't play Zaku a lot, so I just have a basic quality build on him for whenever I want to try something like this out, so I can't really talk about the effectiveness of this augment or whether or not this would actually be something you might want on Zaku, but as far as the actual augment goes and the mechanics of it, it's actually pretty good. It works rather well. Stealing weapons from enemies is extremely simple, and debuffing them with one of the 2 debuffs that you need to actually start healing with this augment is probably even easier. And nowadays the weapons have pretty good fire rate, so you essentially become immortal unless you get one shot by one big hit. Plus, the one thing I really like about it is that the weapons will always keep firing as long as there are enemies in range, so even if you get knocked down, you will still get the healing. Now, the second Zaku augment is called the Relentless Lost, and this will give you 35% bonus power strength, which stacks up to 3 times, up to a maximum of 105 to Lost whenever you cast Lost. But you have to cycle through the different versions of Lost, which is not that difficult because it cycles by default. If for whatever reason you cast the same variant of Lost, because you have 3 different versions of it that you can cycle between back to back, you will lose the power strength and you have to stack it back up again. And once again, since I don't play Zaku at all, I have no idea if this is something you might want on Zaku, but 105% power strength from one mod sounds pretty good if you're gonna focus on Lost. And by the way, both of these are available from the Steel Meridian and Cephalon Suda. Next on the menu, we have Champion's Blessing for Trinity's Blessing, and this one I do actually know something about. So what this does is it converts healing done by Blessing into crit chance for primary and secondary weapons. The way it works is extremely straightforward. Normally when you cast Blessing, you just get the 1 buff, which is the damage reduction that Blessing provides on top of the healing that you get with it. But with this augment, if you heal someone's health, you get a second buff that increases your crit chance. Now the amount of crit chance you get doesn't seem to be affected by power strength at all. However, the duration does scale with more power duration. This one I'm honestly not too excited about because it's okay if you can consistently heal someone in your group or yourself, but it would be so much better if it affected melee as well, because then you could go into melee with Trinity, and if you took too much damage from being in melee, you could heal and get extra crit. But anyway, if this sounds like something you would want, you can get it from the Parent Sequence or from New Loka. And finally, we have my personal favorite of the bunch, Lavos' Swiftbite. Now, this gives you, by default, 30% additional power range for Ophidian Bite, but it also makes it reduce your cooldowns by 4 seconds if you hit at least 4 enemies with it. This one is pretty awesome, especially if you have the right build and you can utilize it, because if there are enough enemies for you to hit, you can basically cast abilities non-stop, especially if you pause in between abilities and you set up your elemental damage for the next ability. Because now, with this augment, you actually have 2 ways of reducing your cooldowns rather than just 1. I've had a ton of fun with this in Infested Steel Path. It's just an endless barrage of abilities and it's really fun. So if you like playing Lavos, I would highly recommend you try this one out. Even if you end up not liking it, it is definitely worth a try. And you can get this one from either the Red Veil or New Loka. And that's pretty much it for the video, so I thank you very much for watching as always guys. I hope you have enjoyed it and found it at least a little bit helpful, and I will see you some other time. Bye bye.